Well, when it comes to choosing the proper lighting for your home, you don't want anything just beautiful. It also has to be functional. That's really important. Well, the guys at Connecticut Lighting Centers will use the blueprint of your home to determine exactly what you'll need. Here to show us how, please welcome Dave Director and Neil Fleischer. Great to have you guys back again.
Thanks for having us.
So let's set this up for everybody because I found this incredibly interesting. So we come into Connecticut Lighting Centers literally with the blueprint. Walk us through what happens initially.
So the first thing you do after we greet you, we're going to talk to you and we're going to bring you to what we call our design room.
Okay.
And that's an area where we can actually sit down at a conference table and be able to talk and walk through your home. I think the whole key is that before we can select any lighting, we need to understand what the needs are.
And also the style of what the person walking in kind of wants, because we all want something different.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about you.
Oh, see, I love that.
It's all about you.
He knows all too well. Listen, let's set this up first with the outdoor lighting, because we were talking earlier about how important outdoor lighting is, as well as indoor lighting. And it's not all about just keeping things literally safe. It's also about having a little bling with it, accessorizing with lighting.
Yeah, I think safety, security, the decor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take areas of your home, and we're going to say to you, all right, we want what size light? That's going to be a question you're going to have. What size?
Okay.
We can help you with the size. You're going to help pick that light. Then we're going to talk to you about things like, well, we can leave a wire out for future landscape lighting. That's really important. It's very inexpensive to do at the beginning. If you do it later, it's going to cost you a lot more money.
And let's talk about some of the things you can do with the outdoor lighting in terms of sensors and having it set off at certain times, right?
Absolutely. You could put your outdoor lighting on timers.
Okay.
We can actually put your outdoor lighting on a home control system, which would tie it in with the inside as well. So it depends on how you want to use your home. If you travel a lot, if you want to be able to tap into your lighting from out of state or from your office, we can tie it all into any kind of automated system you want.
And talk with us about add-ons in the future. I mean, what are we talking about? What do you find that most people want to add on?
The biggest add-on we find is, again, coming back and doing the landscape lighting and doing a real full-blown outside scheme to highlight the house.
Right.
After the landscaping is in a little bit more matured, it's not brand new, it's grown in a little bit, and really highlighting that and making your house outside look like a park.
Palace.
It should be an extension.
Yes.
The landscape lighting should be an extension of the inside of your home.
Right.
It should look, again, it's all about making it look cool.
Making it look cool, and also still, like we said earlier,
security
and being functional. But when we talk about security and safety, what are some of the other tips that you have for people coming to you? First and foremost, I'm sure, is coming to you early on in the game, bringing you these blueprints immediately.
The key is that as soon as you're going to do a remodeling project, build a home, as soon as you have those prints and they're finalized, come in and talk to us. Because if we do it early, then you can get what you want. And it's about, if you think about what we're going to do and we plan it, then it doesn't become this harried thing at the end, because you have 9 million decisions always right at the end.
And you know what's so wild? We were talking earlier with Dave and you, Neil, as well, that there's so many things that go along with lighting, how our eye is drawn to lighting and the percentage of light that we're supposed to have. I mean, you guys are like the Einsteins of lighting. I love it. Talk with us about the kitchen as well, the things we need to consider in terms of the kitchen.
Well, example, I mean, in the kitchen, you have, you can do kitchen lighting all different types of ways. So you have recessed lighting, you have under cabinet lighting, you have the decorative lighting that's going to go over this island or peninsula. And just by how we design, example, if you take recessed lighting, think about if you put the recessed light in the wrong place, well then you're blocking the light in front of you. So we know that it needs to be 18 to 21 inches off the wall.
But your builder may not necessarily know that.
Exactly.
So he's just building it. And you guys are the guys that come in and say, no, this is the way it needs to be done.
That's right, and that's why we want to work with the individual blueprint of each person's home, and we will draw right on the plan where these lights should be placed so that the electrician can do the correct measurement and put them exactly where they're supposed to be so you don't get shadows and dark spots.
What should we consider when we're addressing dining rooms? What are some of the tips you can give us there?
Dining rooms are an area that this house particularly has a very large dining room, but you want your decorative chandelier over the table, but that's certainly not going to be enough light to light a big dining room. We'll come back and do recessed lighting that are placed in certain spots, and we definitely recommend sconces. Absolutely.
Example, if you put recessed lighting and you put 4 recessed lights on each corner of the table, and they're low voltage, and you could make this table really pop. You have it with your china out, and you want that china just to sparkle.
Sparkle, yes.
And that's what's going to happen by putting those 4 recessed lights. And the chandelier, anything over 25 watts, your eye rejects. So you're squinting. And most people put these really bright bulbs because they have their dining room and they want to get a lot of light because everybody's in there. But that's not the way to do it. The way to do it, we kind of kid about lighting, most of the time, it should be the effect of lighting, not just the look of lighting. But what's the effect? So we can have a really cool chandelier, but that shouldn't be the lighting element.
Lighting really creates the mood and kind of sets a tone for a room.
It does, and that's why we want to always talk about people layering lighting. And that's why in a dining room, we already talked about a beautiful chandelier over the table, and then recessed lighting around, and sconces. And another big thing today is a lot of people are building tray ceilings. So we'll also want to talk about lighting the tray. So in one room, we're talking about lighting the tray, the chandelier, recessed lighting, and sconces. So there's 4 levels of light, all on separate switches, and that's how you build your layering. And that's what gives a room a good, even light.
The ambiance. That's what creates that ambiance.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely. Thinking about closets, big or small. I mean, this is one of those things, like for a gal like myself, I mean, lighting is important.
And it's probably the one that most people make the most mistakes in.
Really?
It's really simple. I mean, when you take a closet, think about if you put a recessed light over the top, which was done all the time, then what's going to happen is the closet, the shelf over the closet, you usually have a shelf over where you're hanging, that's going to block all the light. Whereas if you put a fluorescent or an LED right over the top of the header so that the light is shining into the closet, simple, inexpensive, but really effective way to light a closet.
And you look so much better when you're looking at yourself.
Absolutely.
Oh, I like
and
that.
you could also make sure that we're going to make sure that you get the right coloring rendition and the right bulb so that your blacks and your blues don't
you can tell the difference.
Look the same. And you don't want to walk out with a blue sock and a black sock. You want to have 2 the same.
I'd check your socks out, guys, but I...
Yeah, there you go.
We understand. I'm not sure.
We got it right.
All right. Talk with us about bedrooms. What are some of the tips and things we should consider as well in the bedroom area?
Well, bedroom is, again, a master bedroom is a person's, escape. And we want to make sure that they use the room and how they use the room so we can light it the way they want. A lot of the rooms today have sitting areas, so we'll probably recommend a ceiling fan in the middle with a light on it to get some comfort going in the room, cool.
Okay.
And then we'll do some perimeter recessed lighting. And if they have a sitting area, we'll want to isolate the sitting area with some special lighting just for that.
But think about you walk into a lot of people's bedrooms and they have 4 recessed cans
Right.
and they're just placed. And how would you like to be sitting on your bed, looking up and looking at a light bulb?
I don't like it.
Not very attractive. So again, it's all about if it's done correctly, we can give you that right lighting effect without sitting in your bed looking up at a light bulb.
All the things I would have been, you know what, this is what I'm talking about. It's Lighting 101. Listen, you can get all this great information by visiting Connecticut Lighting Center, Style's own lighting provider, I should say. Information is on your screen, or just come to our website, WTNH.com, click on Connecticut Style. We've got the link. Dave and Neil, thank you guys so